Many North American Case IH combine dealers have a scaled working model of a CVT. This video demonstrates how the CVT works in a 10 and a 20 series Case IH combine.
Hello, this is a working model of a CVT that is in our 20 series combines and our 10 series combines. This CVT drive is also known as a Power Plus drive, and there are actually two of these on the combine. One of these runs the feeder header, and there is another one that actually will run the rotor assembly, and this is a direct drive system that drives without any belts or pulleys. This is actually a working model that you can turn on and off. It has a power switch here, and on the side there is a simulated hydraulic motor, which of course in this case you would turn by hand. And just to look at this a little bit closer, you can see some of the finer parts inside. You can see inside there is an outer shaft here and that there is an inner shaft here. And of course on this side is the planetary setup. Here's the ring gear, here's the planet gears, and in the inside the yellow gear is the inner shaft, the sun shaft gear, and of course that is tied to the hydraulic motor, the inner shaft there. You have your planetary drum here, which is of course hooked to your output shaft, and in this case let's just assume that it is hooked to a rotor itself. And just to show you how this works, you can turn it on. You turn it on and you'll see that the engine is driving the main outer shaft, and when you engage the separator, you're going to engage the separator. You do that up in the cab. In this case we move the switch, and what has happened here is there is a clutch pack in here. It's a wet clutch inside this planetary assembly that has locked up, and it locks up so that this ring gear is locked to the outer shaft, the main mechanical shaft here. And at this point in time you are driving the rotor, and this is purely mechanical power at this point in time. Now, if you want to change the speed of the rotor, for example, you would reach up on your rocker switch and of course change the speed. And when you are changing the speed, what you are doing is you're making this hydraulic motor run in one direction or perhaps another direction, but in effect you're turning that inner sun gear. And as you can see here, the sun gear is turning, and you can see what is happening. You can actually change the relationship of how fast those planetary gears run just by changing the speed of the hydraulic motor. And of course this hydraulic motor can run one direction or it can run another direction. And as you can see on the side here, we can actually change the speed of the output based on how fast we turn this hydraulic motor either one way or another way. Another thing that can be demonstrated with this model is that you can actually demonstrate the deslug mode. So for example, if the rotor ever became slugged, which of course is going to be very seldom, but let's just for fun and games assume that the rotor was slugged. Of course the rotor stops turning. You do want the engine to still run, and so what you do is you reach up on your separator switch, you pull it rearward, let it go forward through the neutral gate and forward, and then what happens is this hydraulic clutch in here will disengage, and there is another wet clutch in here that will engage, and what it is doing is locking the ring gear to the main housing here so that the ring gear cannot turn. Of course the rotor is not mechanically powered any longer, but everything else in the combine is running. The sieves are running, the elevators are running, all the shafts are running, and in particular your chopper is running also. And of course we want the engine to go to full RPM, so the chopper is running full RPM. And then what you can do is you can reach up on your rotor speed rocker switch, and basically what you can do is you can rock the rotor. So you can back it up a little bit, and because you're only turning the inner sun shaft, you can make those planetary gears follow around, and as you can see, you can actually rock the rotor forward and rearward, and you would typically back it up a little bit and then go forward, back it up, go forward, so that you can actually run the slug out the back and through the chopper assembly. And so that is a very easy way to deslug the combine from right inside the cab.